Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Manali and you are watching Learn It. In our third lecture, we have made simple circuit. You see it here. We are studying what is counter, what is 7 segment display, and what is clock. We study all first, then we made a simple circuit. Just click close the save and delete. We start with the studying first. We go to input. We see here it is showing counter. We click on the counter and place it here. Now I zoom in. You see it here. First we point in that point and we go anti-clockwise and see what the point is coming in our next. First that point is showing clock. It's where we have to connect clock here or we have to input 0 1 values 0 1 or 1 0 here to change the output of the counter. Here you see reset button. Here when the reset button is on, the counter reset its value and point it to 0. Then start again. It is the reset button. Here you see 0. When the input of 0 is high, then the output of the counter is always 0. It's showing the 0. Then here you see a value which is also the output of the counter. Here you see a max value, which is the max value. The counter cannot increase its value uh, greater than max. Max value is a value which break the counter uh, or break the values go to the counter. When it's break it, counter cannot go further values. Just then now we study counter. We also see the help of counter in user manual. We studied. We want to study our increase your knowledge. Just open the user manual and type it here counter. Here you see counter. Click on the it, and it's showing all the point. Max value is the max value that the counter will reach. Input clock. You see it as clock. 0 it is high when the counter show it 0. And values output of the counter is binary, and you see it here is showing all that high value, and we want to also see it here, it's showing that. Now we next go to our second element, which is in sequential element. Go here and you see it here is a clock. We click on the clock and point it here. Now use what is clock. Clock is a device which always pointing 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 0. Its work is increasing the value and then decrease, increase, decrease, increase, decrease. Just I show you here. You have we study flag here in our previous lecture. We point it here and connect the flag to the clock to show the behavior of the clock. Just connect it. As you see it here, it's showing 1 0 1 0. Then we click on the timing diagram. You see it here is showing up value. I later will increase the value here. Is showing you see up and down, up down. It means the clock changing its value in every instant. We have to point it here and minimize it. You when you click on the clock and open the properties, here is the properties label and uh, click on here on the main screen. Then you see it here. It is showing clock timing. It's millisecond. When it's showing 50, it is also is equal to 0.5 second. We have to point it here and decrease it and 100, which is 1000, which is equal to 1 second. It means in every second clock change is interval. It's high, then it's low, then high and low. In that way, it's showing it's changing its values. We, you see it here. Is we change the clock timing, just decrease it, decrease, delete our flag, I tell you in previous circle, press shift, then double click to select the area which we want to select. You select it in that, then delete. Now, our next element is in output. You see it here, 7 segment display. You see, press it here, and we also study hexadisplay. We place it here. We first study 7 segment display. In to see there is a points, 2 points here, two here, two here, and two here. First that point I study with that point. First I point it here. 8 points inputs to show the work. Here, copy and paste. You see it here. Now our 4 points was that. You see it here. I minimize it. First point I connect. You have to little bit focus how I connecting the point. First I connect first point to that point. First I point all zeros, then I point it, label them to show you how it works. Delete, label them first 2, 3, 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, and then 8. Now we label them. Now we have to just point 0. Now you see how I connecting the points. First point to that one, you see it here. Second point to the right of them, that one. Now third point, go here, up direction, and point it here, here, and connect. Miss that one. You don't have to connect that point. Then go to that one. Then go to next of them, just that one. You have to little bit focus how I'm connecting all the points to show you how they work. Then, then upper right point. You have to connect the upper right point here. It is a little bit changing the sequence here. I also show you then that one and also that point to point it which we skip here, that one. Now first point, you see it here, first point is connecting here, first point, then second point connecting here clockwise. I'm moving clockwise. Third point is going there and connecting, missing that one, then connecting that one. Then fourth point going here and connecting that one, just going clockwise. Then 5 point. Then here on the upper side, we have to just first connecting which is in the center one. Then that one, then that one. Then 8 point is connecting on that one. Now, first point is here. You see, when we increase our first point here, you see it here, the upper line is LED is on. Now, when we increase our second point, you see our right upper line is on. Now turn it off, then on. Then you see our right lower LED light is on. Then which line is on? Tell me. Yes, our lower line is on. Now, what line is on? Our left lower line is on. Then you see our right left upper line is on. Then which is missing? Our middle line, which is here. You see, it's just here, our middle line. You see it here. You see, we are moving clockwise. Upper line, upper right line, then lower right line, lower line, lower left line, upper left line, then middle one. Then what's that point? That when we increase or high our 8 point, you see it here. It's a LED light here, which we turn it on when the 8 point is on. You see it here, how it's working. Now you see the digital LED lights, or you see the calculator, which are showing some displays on when we choose our display. It's just same, it's showing that 7 segment display. Now we have to write here some numbers which we want to show. We just first point it go to 0, then 1, then 2, then 3. In that way, we all here point it here, all the values. We write here 16 digits 0 to 15, or we also hexadecimal numbers because its name is hexadisplay. You see it here, it's showing you here when we put 7 segment display. Hexadisplay is just that one. It is 7 segment display which also show the hexadecimal numbers. Now we first write 0. Upper line, you see it here. Upper right line, lower right line, lower line, lower left line, and upper left line. You see it here is showing 0. Now we have to decrease all of them. Now we have to input 1. Then we need that line and that line. Just point it 1, 1. It's showing 1. Now we need two upper line, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Upper line, upper right line, middle one. We need middle one, which is on 7 point, middle one. Then missing that one, increase that point, that one, and we don't need that light, which is on 3, we have to increase 4. You see it here, it is 2. Now decrease all of them. You have to point 3, upper line, upper right line, lower right line, lower line. Now we need middle line, which is on 7, increase 7. In that way, you are now focusing and you're seeing what is going on. Now we need have to write 4. We don't need upper line. Now we need 4. We need that one and that one. First 2, 3. First that one. Now we need middle line, which is on 7. That one. Now we need that line, which is just behind of the middle line. You see it here 4. You see now 5. Have to write 5. You see it here 5. Now I little bit go faster to show you 6, 6, and 7. Then 8. 8 for we all have to increase all the points. 8. Now 9. Between 9. For 10, we have to just write A here. We just decrease that one. No, not that one. That one. And we have to increase our that one. You see it here, which is equal A, which is equal to 10. I show you here, just here, the alphabets, which is you see it here, A, B, C, number here, you see 0. I'll zoom in and show you here. You see it here 0, 0, 1, 1. When we point it 10, which is equal to A, Point is 11, which is equal to B. Point 12, C. 13, D. 14, E. 15, F here. You see it here. It is decimal and is equal to hexadecimal. Now, this is code which we use in our next lab. We did zoom out. Just come back to our circuit here. A, then B, we have to type B. We type here small b because we have not need a confusion here. That one, this upper line, read upper line, and that one is showing B here, which is equal to 11. We don't type here large big B because we don't want to confuse when it show big B is also equal to 8. I show you here. It's showing B and is also equal to 8. Now we have to type it here small b. You see it here. Now we type C on our display. You see it here. C. It's small c. You also type small c or large one. Just increase that one, and type that one. It's also equal to C. Both C's are just same. Now E, we have to type E. We type big E or small e in our requirements. Type that one in that way, which is small e, or we type that E, which is large E. Then F. Just that one is showing F. You see all the numbers which are just using in our display. How it's work is showing the display and our display is moving that way. Now it's we save it here, just point it here. Now we choose our hexa display. Hexa display just work on the binary form of the hexa display. We just have to point it here, input here, and increase the bandwidth of the input. How hexadecimal display point it 4 is to work on the 4 orientation down here. You see it here. Now we connect it to our work here. Just connect it. It's showing 0. When the bits we enter binary code of the hexadecimal is showing that way. We don't need a big circuit here which we're using in the 7-segment display. Hexa display is just a small one. We just point it here. It's just small which we choose. Now it's pointing 1. Here is 1. Then 2. Then 3. Then 4. Then 4. Then 5. Then 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, A, B, in that way, C, D, E, and F. If we had just a small numbers which you choose here, you see it is a big circuit here which is showing the hexadecimal number, and you see on the right it is a small circuit. You just have to enter the binary value of hexadecimal and it's showing the result. You have to choose which is good. Now we place it here. Now we just have to little bit modify our circuit. You just input here. We call out counter, which we choose in our previous circuit. We studied. Now sequential element, take clock, take input here, take button. Now just delete our. I show you how clocks work here, and just delete it. We don't need it now. Yeah. Connect the reset button. Here you see reset button to the button. Connect clock to the clock. Then max value to the max value. Increase max value to the 4. Bandwidth of 4. We have to use 4 values. Now connect, and we have to increase bandwidth of the bandwidth. You see it here. We have to give 4. Then connect that one to our 7 segment display. You see it here. Now connect output. We want to show you the result. We have to point the bandwidth of the output is also 4 because it's the bandwidth of the counter is 4. Here, just here. You see it here. It is showing 0 here, which is the max value. Its max value is 0. It's the point, it's 0 here. We just counter bandwidth. Now we increase our max value, point is 1. Now the max value is 1. The counter goes to 1 and not increases value to 1. Now we want to increase all it and point F here. Now we reset it. Now counter is showing its result output here, and here is a bit disconnected. Now it is the output of the counter, hexadecimal number, hexadecimal number to the binary, and here is the hexadecimal display. Now its counter going is increasing value one by one when the clock input is high and low. Here you see the binary value is changing and the hexadecimal value is also changing. Now you see the work of the counter here. Connect it. Now you see it's increasing 0, 1, 1, 0. And you see here it's also increasing points. Here is the binary value. Here is the hexa display. You see it here how it's working. And thank you for this lecture, and we met again.